Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. And thanks for dropping in. We're so glad you are here today. We get some great questions for Ricky and Pam and myself, and we talk about the Capture Your Moment photo sessions. This one's going to happen over at the Magic Kingdom, and our listener asks if those photos are included with her memory maker, because on the website it says photos are not included with the session. So we have that discussion today. We also get a question about Mears transportation. The husband's coming in on a separate flight, and the family's dining over at Boma at Animal Kingdom Lodge. And they're not staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but hubby doesn't want to miss out on this great meal, and I wouldn't want to either. Can he get dropped off at Animal Kingdom Lodge instead of back where they're staying? We have that discussion. Quick question or quick answer is yes, you get to do that. We're also in search of a green eel from Disney Plus that may or may not be hanging out over at the Seas at Epcot. So we have that discussion and much more on today's show. So hang out. We're going to have fun talking Disney today. Don't forget our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan the next Disney vacation. No additional cost to you. First class concierge service. And we're going to always get you the best deal possible. Win, win, win. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That really does support the show. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. You're basically Club BOGP. You make all of our shows possible. And you're going to get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over. You can support us just $5 a month. Please jump on in. beourguestpodcast.com or patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Again, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2428 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having an awesome week here as we wrap up the 65-day month known as January.
Yes.
Or Gloominary, as we call it here in the Midwest. Man, the sun was gone for 39 consecutive days, but it has finally come back out. So it was not just a rumor that there was a big glowing orb in the sky. It has returned, and we are very happy for that. So we are going to have a great time answering your listener questions today to get you between here and spring training. And we're not going to talk football because our fourth member of the team who is, not here today, we're giving him some time. That wasn't pretty. So we love you, Scotty G, and I have not texted him yet because too soon. So we'll get him through this. And I have had listeners reach out and say, should we send him a care package? Then that's our Be Our Guest podcast family. I am not kidding. We love each other, and I'm a Mizzou fan. Been there many times, and we just love each other. But man, all you need at this point is space. So that's what's going to happen. So we have our friends here, Ricky, joining us from themouseforless.com. Ricky, happy Wednesday. What's going on?
Oh, happy Wednesday. This is like month 3,558. It feels like because, man, I guess I should say day 3,558 in this month because it is just, it's been a rough January with sickness and everything else. It's just, it's definitely been rough, but it's all good because I can officially say, and I know this goes to nothing that has to do with Disney, but just me and my personal life. I am officially going to see Justin Timberlake in June, and I'm a happy girl. So that makes me very, very happy. There's new Justin Timberlake music in the world. I love it. And that's just my other life is the Justin Timberlake side of things. So been in love with him since I was 15, baby. It ain't going anywhere now.
Is that free concert that he's doing for one night up in New York, or?
No, so he actually had a free concert in Memphis. That was where he debuted Selfish, which is his new song. But then he has his free concert is tonight when this tonight when this airs. and it's in celebration of his birthday, which is today. Technically, I know way too much. Yeah, his birthday is January 31st. He's 43 today, so
Stalker.
I may have been a little obsessed, and still am.
Ricky, okay, here's your analogy for today. Then we're getting to Pam. Ricky is to Justin Timberlake as Alfred is to Debbie Gibson.
This is true. I maybe a little less. Maybe a little less. Yeah,
maybe not.
But,
I'm just saying.
Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? But Diane is correct. He was a former Musketeer. That is absolutely right. I actually have. So I have VHS tapes from back when NSYNC was really popular. And they had aired an entire block of time on the Disney Channel, and they were all those Mickey Mouse Club episodes. I have almost all of them on VHS because I was like, I'm gonna record these now. So, yep, I have them somewhere. I should get them digitized, to be perfectly honest.
Real quick, the teacher across the hall, Dave, he taught 5th grade. I taught 6th grade. He was one of our Pod D Alliance, we called it. We had 8 teachers in our pod, best friends with Pam and myself. We all taught together. He won $750 at a karaoke contest on a school night on a Thursday night when we were teaching together, singing "Bye Bye Bye" at 2:00 in the morning on a Thursday night. We all had school the next day. Just saying.
Here's
and the principal was in the crowd. So that was a rough Friday at Wedgwood Elementary. But the principal was there, so it was all good. So
I actually won tickets to see NSYNC in concert back in the day. But we had to call the radio station and sing a song. It was in the morning show. And so I got my mom up at 5 in the morning, which, me waking up Donna at 5 in the morning is not great. And she's like, if you get through, wake me up, because you had to sing with your parent, wake me up and I'll sing with you. And I got through and I ended up singing Bye Bye Bye. And the only reason we lost, is because a little girl called in with her dad and they sang God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You. And how can you compete against a little girl when you're in high school? So they gave me consolation prize of, that was for 4 tickets. I ended up getting other tickets. I had tickets to the concert anyway, but yeah. So anyway, I had one ticket to see.
I love that song. I haven't heard that song before.
It has so many layers. When you listen to that song now as an adult, you're like, dude, that song has layers.
All right. I have a theory about a new song, but I learned something about a new song, but I'm not getting into it today. Pam Forrester is killing it at life right now. If you're watching the video, and by the way, every one of our shows is on YouTube, and you get pre-show, you get post-show, you get more content, you get unedited content. Just go to youtube.com/BeOurGuestPodcast, and you get all the video. You get cool stuff. But today, if you see the video, you know exactly where Pam Forrester is, and she'll let us know. Coner, the magic for less travel, living the big life, living the sweet life, we should say, just like Zach and Cody, freshly returned from Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's newest ship, the biggest ship in the world. Now, I mean, I don't know how you top that, but I guess you just go to the Polynesian. What's up, Pam Forrester?
I know. Here's my key card to prove I was there. Yes, we did. Just returned from the Icon, which was a fantastic ship. I'm just blown away. Still, I'm processing so much about the ship. I'm there, all the decks, 20 decks, all the staterooms we toured, all the restaurants we ate at. My liver's recovering a little bit too. So I mean, it was a party for sure. And we got to see Messier, christen the ship. The Michael Bailey was there. It was just a big deal. So
wait, you got to see Messier, like the hockey player?
The soccer player who was
you mean Messier,
cool.
the Messi, like the
Messi.
Like the super hockey, like the guy that plays for Miami?
Yeah,
the
Messi.
Soccer player. Yes,
like the biggest soccer player in the world. Like Apple has the thing with
the godfather of the ship.
Leo Messi. Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Holy smokes!
Wow.
He's a big deal. I thought you were talking about the guy that played for the Rangers, like back in the day, the hockey player.
Yes, Messi. Yes.
I mean, we're all kind of Midwestern. We can't really say like those kind of names.
I know, right?
Exactly.
For sure. No, really cool. Yes, not Messier, Messi. But anyways,
Messi. That's what it's Messi. That sounds like Messier. I'm like, because there was a guy there was a hockey player named that.
I want it to be like more like, I want to extend the name into something else.
Was
but
he
anyways,
a chef?
Yes.
I'm like, was he like, bam?
I'll be honest, not a soccer fan myself, but
Yeah,
I
I'm not
understand
either.
that it's popular.
Joe Laszlo is killing us right now.
Yes,
Dude,
yes,
Joe
yes.
Laszlo is
Sorry, Joe.
he's unsubscribed. Hang in there, Joe. Come on back, buddy.
He literally could have been in the elevator with me, and
You wouldn't have even known it.
No.
He probably was in the elevator with you and you didn't have a clue. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably. Yes, this is all probably true. So, anyways, but yes, and now I am at the Polynesian. I can hear the children there in the green space. I can smell ohana. There are meats cooking somewhere that is wafting all through, and I like how you can smell like the little gas from the tiki torches too. Like it's all pretty good. So
It's a combination of good food and 1970s Walt Disney World. The gas that reminds me of like this probably isn't totally safe, but I mean it's nostalgic.
Right. Look at Diane trying to help me out here. You're right, Diane. It is Mark Messier.
Yeah, Mark Messier.
And Leo Messi.
If you see like in the Midwest, you say Mark Messier. Anyway, let's get to the questions. That's why you're here. Trisha has a question. She's up in Wisconsin. Question about getting a car rental when you're leaving your Disney trip. We're taking a ride share into the Disney bubble and using Disney transportation during our trip. However, we're extending our vacation by then driving to the Kennedy Space Center. The cost doesn't justify having a car just sit in a resort parking lot for 5 days. Is there car rentals closer to Disney property than having to go all the way back to MCO? So Pam, you guys rent cars. So,
yeah, we do this all the time. There is actually at the Car Care Center, you can rent Alamo, National, and I believe Enterprise as well. And the great thing is that after when you set that up, you can actually call them and they will arrange to come and pick you up at your Disney resort and or drop you off if need be. So that's a huge plus for those people wanting to sort of rent a car for part of their time. You can do that very, very easily. And they're super nice there.
That's good that they're nice. I'd hate if they're
I know. It is. It is. We just did it the other day. We dropped one off and then we're picking another one up when we're done. But yeah, they dropped us off at Epcot. So
very cool. All right, Jody's got a question in Cincinnati. Hey, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and hashtag Scotty G. Our family's going to be at Walt Disney World for Easter this year, and we've never been during a major holiday. Are there Magic Kingdom fireworks or the normal show, or do they do anything different for Easter? What are some unique offerings happening at that time that we should not miss? Thanks, Jody. And I know, Ricky, this is kind of something that's like a minor celebrated holiday at Walt Disney World, and it's also announced kind of late in the game, right? Well, if they do anything, I mean, it's mostly like stuff at the Grand Floridian with like eggs and.
So actually, Easter, yes, you're right. Easter is always kind of like a very underrated holiday at Disney. They do have the Easter eggs that are like they're made out of chocolate and other really cool confections. And I mean, what they can do with these eggs are just ridiculous. I mean, they are so incredibly beautiful. And most of them are Disney related, but some of them are not. They have other themes to them. They are, if you're in the area and you can go by the Grand Floridian to see these eggs, you must do it. They are incredible. They also sometimes have eggs at other resorts, but you never really know until because they really don't put them out except for like maybe a couple days before Easter. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Easter's not like the biggest holiday for Walt Disney World. They don't celebrate it in a huge manner. The other thing that they do, and again, this is very minimal. I'm talking like you got to be there 1 of 2 days to be able to see this. That's what I found. Oh, Siri's talking to me. So you got to be there 1 of 2 days to be able to see this. And they do usually a special Easter pre-parade at the Magic Kingdom. It's a really cool parade. I love it. We have it actually on the Mouse for Less, a video of it from a few years ago. It's such a cute little parade. They have some characters that aren't usually out, like the characters from Fantasia are usually in it. You got Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny, that kind of stuff. They used to have the Azalea Trail Maids. I don't think they've had them there for a few years, But
I
that
think
was
when,
always
I think when Nick Saban retired, like they had to retire as well.
yeah. That was a few years ago that they had those, but that was always really cool as well. But the parade is a really, really awesome thing if you get the chance to see it. But like I said, they only show it for the Saturday before Easter and the Sunday of Easter, and that's it. And then they only allow you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny basically those 2 days as well, and they're at the Magic Kingdom in
and they're adorable.
They are so stinking cute. I wish they had them out a little bit longer. Like, wouldn't that be so awesome?
But see, if you say that though, then they'll be out for like 3 months. Like seriously, it's kind of nice if you're only there for a couple days.
Can't they be Easter and spring?
Exactly.
No, they're Easter.
They're so cute.
They could be out for Easter and spring. I'm with you.
And more merch.
And,
Sorry, I said what I said.
Do we need a Spirit jersey?
Yes.
No, we do not. We do not need a Spirit jersey.
We get it for everything else.
We do. Amen to that. That's the truth.
And let me tell you, this week you could be wearing a couple of them because it's a little chilly here.
So. I'm sure you could find one. Probably
just one or two.
I'm saying. Yes. Okay. So yeah, enjoy. I mean, I guess everything will be pastels. But then you got Mother's Day, where sometimes they hand out flowers to the moms, right?
I went on Mother's Day was it last year? I went a couple years ago, and they did not hand out flowers. So maybe they ran out. I don't know.
It happens. All right.
Maybe they should have Mr. and Mrs.
Easter Bunny.
Maybe
handing them out.
Okay. Shout out to Len, because Len is one of my guests over at the Magic for Less. He is currently celebrating just an awesome vacation with his family, staying over at the boardwalk. And every morning, Len has sent me pictures from the previous day and updates of what he's doing with his family. And they're just having the best time, having meals like at places like Boma, Cape May, riding all the rides. And just, I love Len. He's one of our listeners. He's always in here when we record the shows in the chat. And I just want to give him a shout out, saying that he makes my day, because as I kind of tackle the inbox every morning and I get this email, it really does spark my day to see like 4 or 5 pictures of him with his family. You got the picture of the family with the new Walt statue and Epcot. It just like seeing the joy on their faces, because he's been looking forward to this trip for 9 months, getting to be there with the squad. And he's got this, like he wore a shirt yesterday as we're recording that said, "Thank you, cast members." And he wrote me in the email the interactions he had with cast members throughout the day that saw the shirt. And, because it was just a kind thing. Pam, I mean, you get to see this because, I see it from the perspective of one travel agent for my, the guests I work with, but you see it from like, a higher level with all the travel agents. And it's a joy when somebody takes a few minutes to just say, "Hey, we had a good time on our trip." And when Len did that for me this week, and it really made me happy. It did it every day. We don't expect it every day, but it sure was a great way to start the week.
It is. It's fantastic. And I love, we sort of share some of those comments with our team, and pictures and videos that we get. And one of our agents actually shared one that we can't share socially, but I thought I'd tell the story about our agent Rachel had shared that one of her guests had an older adult child that had special needs and has always loved Crush. And got to do the turtle talk.
Awesome.
And it was one of those videos that when you see it, like, I think it made everyone who watched it cry, first of all. And you could tell that the cast member who was helping him talk to Crush was right there with all of us.
That's
and that
awesome.
I mean, like, you just get to see that. And I think I don't know, it's something that I always try to do, but like remember to focus on the little small things. Like we have our window right here, we can hear sort of lots of people milling about the Polynesian, and you just hear the little kids going, "Look at that pool!" Or like we watched the fireworks the other night. We were on the Polynesian beach, and there was a family sort of sitting next to us, and it was one of those things that the parents had planned for forever, right? They were going to eat at Ohana and then go sit and watch the fireworks, right? Well, their little ball of fire had no interest in sitting down and watching anything. And I was thinking to myself, oh, this is one of those moments as a parent where you just want to be like, I'm doing this for you. Like, we planned this thing, it didn't work out, but they were actually able to go with it and sort of go with the flow and just sort of appreciate, that he was like doing what he wanted to do and really just having a great time. But I think it's just such a great reminder, stuff like that like you can't always plan for the magic to happen, but it's always there. So
it is. And when you see those parents, you just like, for us, right? Like, we've been there, right? Like, dude, that was Mallory at one point.
Yes.
Like, oh, I've been there, man. Just hang in there. It's going to be fine, because likely it's their first time going through it. And it's like, oh, my vacation is ruined. It's like, no, it's not. In the moment it is like, you think your world's coming to an end, but you hang in there. Tomorrow's going to be fine. It's true. And even 30 minutes from now going to be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, the cast member had passed out little bags of chips, and the kid had that chip. And at one point, he comes back and he brings the bag back to his dad, and his dad's like, "Did you put sand in this on purpose?"
Oh, dude, Dad's like, these are extra. Are these like kettle chips? Like, these are extra crunchy. Dude's choking.
What? This greedy
stuff. And here's what my wife would be. My wife would be like, if the kid's not crying, dude, just suck it up and eat the chips with the sand. I'd be like, shut up, I'm gonna choke.
The kid went with it though. He was like, "Yep, I'm in."
My wife would be making me eat those chips with the sand if the kid ain't crying. I'd be like, "You trying to kill me, Pam?" She's like,
"I might have fake ate the chips." Okay, and then, dropped it on the ground. Yeah,
right.
Might have been what I ended up doing.
She's not crying. Just scarf them down. Just get a Coke Zero when you're done. I'd be like, "But it's gonna hurt later." Yeah, you'll be fine. Anyway, Howard's got a question over on YouTube. Hey, Mike, where in Disney does the January 5K route run? It's actually a great race. It starts now in the Epcot parking lot, where they all start now, which is great. We don't have to walk out to Timbuktu in January for any of the races. Thank you, Run Disney. Thank you.
That's
you.
That's
so
good.
Nice. And basically, you just run out on the roads there, kind of around the outside of Epcot, and you run through World Showcase and boom, back into the finish line, and you are done. It's a great run, because basically you spend the 5K in World Showcase.
That's great.
That is a great run for January. So I would encourage you, if you're thinking about doing it, do that one. It is a good time. Let's see here. Samantha's got a question. And hello. I'm staying off property for the first time since Genie Plus has been introduced. Can I still book at 7 a.m.? Anybody? It's been so long, I haven't thought about offsite.
Genie Plus, no, right? You have to be, if you're staying on property, you can book at 7, but if you're staying off property, I think it's 9. Am I wrong?
I believe it's when the park
opens.
Right?
Yeah. I was just thinking 9 because usually that's when the park opens, but I think Animal Kingdom sometimes opens at 8:30. So yeah, that's what the case is. So if you're off property, not 7.
All righty. And Elizabeth's got a question. Hey, Mike, Ricky, Pam, and Scott, or whoever is there today. Well, here's who's here. I'm Elizabeth. You may or may not remember that I called in last year with a question about taking my family of 11 to Trader Sam's for my 50th birthday trip. Your tips helped, and the entire vacation, including Trader Sam's, was a huge success. Now I'm taking my daughter to Walt Disney World in March for her birthday as a senior trip to celebrate her upcoming high school graduation. Congratulations on that. I'd like to book a capture your moment photo session in the Magic Kingdom. It says that photos are not included in the price of the session, but that prints and downloads can be purchased separately online. Does that mean that they are not included with our Memory Maker package? As always, love the podcast. I listen while I'm walking or driving, and it always feels like I'm having a conversation with friends. Thank you, Elizabeth in North Carolina. I love that. That just made my day too. Like, that we're friends. We're just kind of hanging out, talking together. And that's the goal of the show. Just to kind of be hanging out together, talking Disney here on a Wednesday. And by the way, 10 and 2 if you're driving. See, Mallory just got her license, man. I'm preaching this. And I'll tell you what,
man.
It used to be when I look at the apps that I look at the most on my phone, it was always Twitter. Now it's Find My. All the time. Like, dude, did she get to school? Where is she? It's always Starbucks. Like, dude,
yeah.
Here's the other honest to God truth. I'm so glad the Apple Pay that's tied onto her watch, her phone is tied to Pam's debit card and not mine. Dude, she got a job too. Her first job. Now I told her to get exciting. One at Dairy Queen, right? Because
of course you did.
Her mom worked at she worked at Iggy's, which is a frozen yogurt place in St. Louis when she was a kid.
I worked at Iggy's.
Okay, well, so her whole
did you? Okay,
well, I'm just saying, the whole Bullington clan, like Pam's side of the family, they've all served ice cream. Like Paige worked at Dairy Queen. Like, and I wanted to work there because I want to get free ice cream, right? So
oh my God.
I
no.
told her, and there's one right down the street from us. Like, you need to work at Dairy Queen. Now, she will not work at Dairy Queen. I tried. I've been working her for like 2 years. Like, just go to the Dairy Queen's right down the street. Anyway, she got a job at a boutique. Boring. She's going to be like helping like ladies like put together outfits. I mean, it's totally her. It's totally her, but boring. Like, dude, make blizzards. Make blizzards for your old man, for PBPs, peanut butter parfaits. Help a guy out. Anyway.
Nope.
So,
Nothing for you.
what was the question? I got sidetracked. Capture your
What are we
moment. Hey,
doing? Where
those
are we?
pictures. Those pictures are included.
Old
if you have
man
no-
talking.
I'm telling you, dude. You start talking about PBPs, man, and you got my attention. But anyway, back to the question. Capture your moment. If you have Memory Maker, you get the photos, correct?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Bottom line.
That is correct.
So,
Yeah.
the-
I think the
comes
answer to that question is yes. After all of that.
What?
All
comes
that,
around
the answer to
eventually.
the question is yes.
Tune in next week where we take 3 questions and 45 minutes to answer.
Dude,
them.
you want to know what
There are
Thanksgiving's
3
like at the
stories.
Rallman household? You just experienced it right there.
You just got ramen.
Yep. That's
did.
true.
That's
true.
That was Thanksgiving at the Rallman table. All right, Natalie's got a question in the live chat. This may be a long shot, but I mean, so was that last answer. That was a long way around. But do any of you know if Brigsby the green eel is still out at Epcot?
What? I didn't. First
He
of all,
must, she said
Brigsby?
he's watched The Magic of Animal Kingdom, so it must be an animal that was featured in one of the Disney Plus, I think, episodes with that.
maybe in like the
We have a wide audience. This could be a
maybe in
crowdsourced
the Living
thing.
Seas. Like maybe it's an actual eel.
It says my nephew has watched the Magic of Animal Kingdom episode with Brigsby about 15 times. Really wants to see him in person on our trip in February. Thanks.
Oh, he's a moray eel.
I'm guessing he's an actual eel at Epcot, maybe in the land.
Dude,
or
I
the
kind of
land-
want to
the
meet him
Living
now.
Seas.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean, the green eel. I
have
want to meet this guy now.
I have
Brigsby.
no idea.
I
Me
didn't even know he
too.
was a thing.
I would
Pam, you have a mission tonight.
No,
Go find
to
him.
the Living Seas. Find out if Brigsby is there. I would ask the cast members at the Living Seas, which is where I assume that the eel would be, if there's a eel named Brigsby, and they will point you hopefully in the right direction.
Or they'll be like, what?
Yeah, it will also probably be the what question. But hopefully, if you ask enough cast members, somebody will know the right answer to that. Because I didn't know there was an eel named Brigsby either. So that's
I didn't
cool.
either, but I love it. Yeah, I'm sort of looking through. I sort of Googled as this came up, Natalie, and it looks like there's a video that was as recent as fall of last year where they had the eel feeding happening. So
Nice.
check that out. And I think also whenever you have something like this, like all of our kids tend to latch on to something, right, that they have seen in some kind of video or whatnot. Interact with the cast members who were there. Like tell them. So my daughter was, when she was little, a huge Samantha Brown fan because we
Oh,
were
God,
always
yeah.
watching
Oh,
the
dude,
Travel Channel.
Me too. I
Right?
mean, when I got to
Yes,
meet her at that
exactly.
media
Remember,
event, dude, I
we got
was
to
shaking.
interview her.
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
I think she
Right?
still follows me on Twitter.
I know.
So, or I should say X. So
Right. So whenever we were out in Disneyland one time and she was doing a special then, and I was like, and Hannah was little then at this point. So I went up and I'm like, okay, I know this is weird, but my daughter loves Samantha Brown, blah, blah, blah. And she got to talk with Samantha and trade pins with her and everything. So
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
make sure that you tell the cast member, like, my child loves this eel. And so, yeah. So
I'm
anyways.
also Googling life expectancy of an eel.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how long they live. But, I mean, Brigsby hopefully is still swimming well in the living seas.
I
I'm
hope
hoping.
so too.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I want to see this thing. I'm doing research after the show. It's hard to do with all this going on to do research, but man, you have totally piqued my interest here.
I
with
know,
this
me too.
question.
Next time I'm there, I'm going to be looking for this eel.
Steve,
No.
we got a mission for you right now. Get on
Right.
the monorail. Get to the next monorail. You're at the Polynesian,
I
for the
would
love
say
of
my
God.
my brother's in Disney today right now, but he was at Epcot earlier, but he just texted me he's having a Ronto wrap right now. at
Dude,
his
he's
Star
a
Wars
quick
scouts, but
Skyliner ride over to answer this question.
he also got a drink at 50's prime time, or I guess I should say the Tune In Lounge. So it looked like a good drink. I don't
God,
know.
you guys
Ew.
are all killing me. Okay,
I'm sorry.
next question. It says 2024 Flower and Garden ending in May ? Mike, longtime listener, first time emailer, sort of, neighboring Wildwood, Missouri. I could throw a stone and hit Wildwood from where we are. We are also new clients of the Magic for Less, currently working with Michelle. Shout out Michelle. She's awesome. She covers for my guests when I'm done running. We are a family of 6 Disney veterans with 20-ish trips under our belt and a former Walt Disney World cast member in our ranks. Oldest child is a 2-time Disney College Program alumni. With 2 kids in college and 2 kids in high school, Michelle's helping us plan our last long family trip before our oldest kid joins the real world. We're booked in 2 rooms at Caribbean Beach for 11 nights in late May. We've traveled during this time frame many times over the years, and I loved recent years where Flower and Garden was still going into summer. Epcot is one of our favorite parks, especially with the easy Skyliner access from Caribbean Beach. Now we just saw that Flower and Garden is ending in late May, and we are crushed. I suspect if we didn't think we just talked about how we're excited that it ends. Sorry.
I know,
Dude,
right?
She's like, I hate you, Mike. I'm going to come out to Weldon Spring and find your house because it's just right across the bridge. Anyway, I suspect there's a desire to drive guests back to Epcot table service restaurants, especially with the return of the dining plan. We've done all 3 past versions of the dining plan, and while we know we know how to maximize its value, we're no longer interested, though we're always used to it. We found we didn't miss it when it came back post-COVID. It's pricey for a family of 6 adults, and it doesn't fit our non-character meal needs anymore. We also, frankly, prefer the variety offered by the festival booths versus the table service restaurants we've done many times before. So here's our question. Do you have any insight into what, if anything, Epcot may offer in the park into those booths during June? Do you think everything festival will just close and stay vacant until Food and Wine starts back up? I know that's what happened years ago, but those old booths were temporarily huts that were just installed and removed versus the permanent structures that Epcot now has installed. We're hoping that something else will be added for summer and that this is not just another Disney cost-cutting move. Our travel dates are not super flexible, so we feel like we're stuck. Side note rant. We're diehard fans, but we can't help but feel like Disney's taking loyalty for granted. We truly love all things Disney parks. We're getting a little disillusioned. Costs are continuing to creep up incrementally, while the deliverables Disney gives us for our money continue to decrease incrementally. Thanks in advance. We love the BOGP crew for your time and assistance. Jane out in Wildwood. So, I mean, she has a little frustration there with because what's happening is, I think Disney's going back to pre-COVID festival dates, because I think they extended it during COVID because times were just wacky, and I think they're trying to give us some times without festivals.
I agree with that. Yeah. So
I don't know. What do we think?
I never really thought about it as part of like the dining plan as being tied into that, and I mean, maybe it's true. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily think it is, but hey, possibly they want people to go to the table service restaurants. No idea, but I think they make a lot of money at those booths. So I don't necessarily think that's the case. But that's an interesting thought that I never really put together. So something to think about. As far as the disappointment, I completely understand. I think, like we said, we talked about it, and we were like, us 3, and probably Scott as well. Speaking for Scott, I think we're all kind of happy to see things go back to the way that they used to be, because it was kind of nice, or we felt that it was a lot of festival. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of nice that there isn't a festival in the summer. So I don't think that there's going to be a festival in the summer, and I know that's probably disappointing for you guys, especially because that's something that you were looking forward to. And I don't think it's a cost-cutting measure. I just think that, Disney, the reason why they have these festivals is actually to gain revenue during slower times. That's why they invented Food and Wine to begin with. That's why they invented Flower and Garden to begin with. Those times were actually, especially Food and Wine, those times were really slow back in the day. So that's why those festivals were really invented. In the summer, they just don't need a festival to get guests into Epcot. So That's why there wasn't a festival in the summer initially back in the day. And I think that's why we're coming back into that as well. Like Mike said, we're coming back, after COVID now, and things are starting to adjust back to the way that they were. And so I think that, during COVID, yeah, we definitely needed, the extra push, you know what I'm saying, of people coming into Epcot. But I don't necessarily think that they need it now. So like I said, the summer was just always a busy time, so they didn't need a festival. Like I said, I don't think it's cost-cutting method at all. I just think that they don't need the extra revenue. They're already getting it because it's summer. So.
Yeah, Pam, I think that's it, Pam. Any other thoughts? Because summertime, summer crowds, right? You don't need festivals during peak season is basically
I think that actually it does remove some of the congestion that tends to happen at Epcot as we approach the summer. Yeah. And they really do take away some of those booths. They look like, I know, very permanent structures, but some of them just go away. I'm like picturing them like on wheels and pushing them out at some point at night. I don't know. I'd love to see how that goes, but yeah, they
Can
do
you see
actually.
That in the middle of the night?
Yes, this is the thing that I will pay extra to see. Cool. But yes, they do. They remove some of those to remove some of the congestion. I will say we were there the first real weekend of Festival of the Arts, and it was busy. It was, there were a lot of folks there that were, taking pictures, doing whatever. But yes, so it's, I think it is just to remove some of the congestion, and maybe, it will be like the first summer that Luminous is really showing, and they expect to probably see some folks really looking forward to that. So there is a new show. Maybe there will be some other opportunities for entertainment, because when they have a festival, not only is it the food boost, but then there's all these extraneous activities going on too. So maybe they'll have an opportunity for things like that. And maybe you'll just enjoy a slower time at Epcot, that would be a huge bonus too. So yeah, go and enjoy. You'll have a great time.
I agree. And Kelsey says, maybe the plants are also hard to keep going is from spring into summer. Because it's so hot down there. It requires so much water.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's got to be an intense job to keep them blooming. They did it, but man, the labor and they probably got to just keep, keep refreshing the plants, because they probably die and just replace them.
All their green initiatives too, that they have a responsibility in that space to conserve when possible, and this may not be meshing with that initiative that they have as a park, especially in Epcot. So something to think about there too.
So last question today. It's so funny because I have it here in the inbox, and Jennifer is here in the chat at the exact same time. So I'll prove it, because in her email that I had pulled up before she even popped into the chat on Facebook, she's from the hometown of Alan Shepard, one of my favorite astronauts. In the email, she mentioned that, just so I can prove to you, Jennifer, that I had your email pulled up in the inbox. It's so wild. But anyway, I guess I'll go with the one that's here in the live chat. Even though she says in the email, though, hey, BRGP crew, love the show, especially love your positivity. No matter what's going on in the Disney community, it's refreshing. So I'll go with that from the email. But now I'll take it from the Facebook comment here. I sent an email, but happened upon live, so I'll ask here. Love the podcast, by the way. Can you take a Mears bus to a resort you're not staying at? We're staying at Saratoga Springs pre-cruise. My husband's coming in after me. We're having dinner at Boma, and it'd be great if we could come directly to Animal Kingdom due to his flight time. Dude, we don't want hubby missing Boma.
Right, sad. Exactly. And if you're looking for one of the reasons why it's awesome that Mears and Sunshine Flyer are now in charge of transportation instead of it being linked so closely to your Disney resort, this is one of those instances, right? They don't care where you're staying. If you want to take it from the airport to a different resort, that's on you. They're like, I don't know what you're going to do with your luggage there, but good luck. So anyways, yes, you can take it to whatever resort that you want.
And then, so I'm going back to the bouncing back and forth here, Jennifer, because she also continues in the email, would they hold his suitcase while we have dinner? So what you would do is, again, this is just it's like being a secret agent. So he would just take a suitcase to Bell Services, drop it off there like a day bag, check it, like get a little thing, just tell them, okay, I'm going to the parks. Leave it there, go to Boma, destroy it, make sure you have the chowder. It's so good, the corn chowder. Oh my gosh. You guys are killing me with, you're sitting next to Ohana. Ricky's been talking about Captain Cook's before we start recording. I mean, I love Taco Bell night because that's my podcast night meal, and I love it. But you guys are just killing me with everything else. And we're talking about Boma. I'm not going to survive. But yeah, have them check it at Bell Services, then go back and get it after dinner. Shell says, thanks, love the Disney talk and the football talk. Send some good thoughts to my New England Patriots. Man, your Patriots are a mess. I don't know who's going to save them at this point, but we'll see. But yeah, Jennifer, appreciate the kind thoughts. And yeah, you should be fine. So your husband should get Boma. Sounds good.
Yep.
I mean, we all set? All right.
Yeah,
So
we don't want him to miss Boma.
No, oh
No.
man, that'd be a crime against humanity to miss Boma. I mean,
Yes.
why go to Walt Disney World at that point? Well, I mean, they're going on a cruise. They're going on a
Well,
cruise.
oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh yeah, there's that.
There's
And I
that.
mean, what you got to do there, I like their strategy, right? You got to get your stomach ready for the cruise,
Yeah,
right?
bring
you
your
gotta-
stretchy pants.
Yes,
exactly,
this
right.
is true.
You go- you
Boma
go-
stretchy pants.
Right, you go
Boma
to like,
coma. Yes, you
Right.
gotta have it.
you go
Yeah.
to Boma like because it's a buffet, like it gets you ready for like a cruise meal because like they just keep bringing it to you on a
Yes.
cruise like that. That's a
Yes.
smart strategy. Those New Englanders know what they're doing. That's
It's like Ricky fell off.
Jennifer's not playing. I know
Oh,
Ricky's struggling tonight, and that's like the fifth thing I'm gonna try to edit out with the audio. So we'll do what we can here.
My daughter is downstairs banging.
I heard. No,
yeah,
we
she's
all
like
we all heard
building
it.
something.
Yeah,
I
we
think.
all- we heard
she
it.
is. She's banging measuring cups because that's her favorite thing to play with. They're measuring cups. I bought her everything for Christmas. Measuring cups were the thing that she really loved. So there's that.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to jump out of here, but we're going to be back on Friday. Let me tell you about Friday's show. Speaking of making you hungry and a Taco Bell affiliate, we're talking pizza, but we're not talking Pizza Hut. We're talking about all the ways you can celebrate with a slice at Walt Disney World. I mean, you can go fancy. I had actually a really, really good pizza at Il Molino. Now, let me tell you, there's a secret to Il Molino, something you have to do before you can get a pizza. But you have to come back here on Friday to find out what it is. And it's rare that I do this, but I did for that pizza with Scott and his family. And I mean, you can go cheap Blaze pizza. You can go and pretend you're at a wedding reception for pizza.
Stop giving it all away.
I'm just saying, there's lots of ways to get pizza, but we're going to talk about all the ways on Friday. So come back for that show. And then on Sunday night, you can give your favorite pizza indulgences on the call-in show. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So today's show, at all shows for the last bajillion years, brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're here to help you plan amazing Disney vacations. Just like Len, he's down there living the great life with his family, having a great time, eating it up. Cape May Cafe. He went to Boma. We love cast member shirts. He's doing it right. He's like being an ambassador for humanity down there. I love it. I promise, you don't have to send the messages every morning, but you can. We'll help you plan amazing vacations just like that. So to swing by the Magic for Less Travel, bottom line is we're going to get you the best deal possible, no cost to you. And we're going to put that love into that trip just like you want so that you have a great vacation. We're going to do everything we can so that you can make those memories with those people that you love. That's the goal. That's what we do every single day. Every one of our agents, every time, all the time. So just swing by the website today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That really helps us out. And our Patreon supporters, you're kind of like Club BOGP. You support us. You make this happen. $5 a month, not much. It's like a Starbucks coffee. And you really does keep us going. And you get that bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. All right. Social media, you can follow us, Be Our Guest Mike for me, Ricky Nibs for Ricky, TMFLT Pam for Pam. She's living it up, so follow her, especially right now. And Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, I think we'll be able to get Scott back to join us to take your calls, and we'll have a good time. We had so many great calls this past Sunday night, so let's do it again this Sunday night. And then, of course, we'll take off the next Sunday night because everybody will be watching the Super Bowl. I really don't care who wins this time, but, commercials and football and wings and pizza and all the good food. So we'll take Super Bowl Sunday off. All right. So we are going to be back on Friday having fun talking pizza. That's a Detroit thing. Little Caesars. So Shout out, Scotty G. We miss you. We hope you're okay. But it's just too soon. I haven't even texted the guy. It's so raw still, my buddy. But there's like a bro code. Like after something like that, you can't even, like, there's no words. So I love you, Scotty G. I love you. So we'll talk to you soon. So stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.